Hi, I'm Krista,
I'm Ariel.
and we have more surprise questions for each other. This week's topic is healing and cures. All right, you want to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
This is a little intense.
Oh no.
It's not that intense.
Okay.
When do you think you fully accepted that I would never walk again?
Fully accepted that you would never. It was pretty early.
No.
I think. I think that I didn't have a passion to make you walk again. So it wasn't important to me unless it was important to you. And so there was never any crushing feeling like, oh my gosh, she's never gonna walk again. It was more, let's teach her how to live her life using the wheelchair and make sure that she is emotionally healthy and strong and brave and all of those things. So, because I was always okay with how you were, from the beginning. So.
Very nice. Thank you.
Now you make me cry almost. I gotta remember my question. Okay, I will ask you then. Do you feel like you want to walk again someday?
No. I think
That's our dog Smudge at the door, who is very upset that he is not in here, but he's already knocked the camera down once. He has his bed out there, he's fine.
He's fine. I don't really think about or dream about walking anymore at all. I think I did for a long time, and then definitely after the accident and in middle school and probably in high school, I would still think about it and occasionally want that in my future. But after I got to college and I met so many other people in wheelchairs with very full lives and that were very happy and had accomplished these amazing things, that was what solidified for me that you can still be very fulfilled and satisfied and happy and love your body and love life in a wheelchair. So I think around 21, 22, about 10 years after the accident is probably when I stopped dreaming and thinking about walking. And then there are definitely days when it's harder. If I have a day where, usually it's with my bladder, when it's just not cooperating, it's not doing what I need it to do, I get very frustrated and I'm like, I really wish I didn't have to deal with this and this sucks. But those days are pretty few and far between. And then occasionally when I'm traveling and things are inaccessible, I get mad. But now it's me just getting mad at the government and the infrastructure wherever I am for not accommodating me, because it's not just me, it's like millions of people who have disabilities and they're not accommodated for, and I think it sucks. And I think that's the way the world shouldn't be, and it should be accessible and inclusive for every person. And so nowadays when I get mad at infrastructure and mad at public transportation and mad at people who aren't up to date and current on disability issues. That should be. So I think that's where I'm at now.
Okay, good, very good.
My question for you was, you kind of answered it, but was it really important to you, especially right after the accident, for me to continue going to physical therapy and go to therapy?
Yeah, I wanted you to go to all the therapy that you could go to. And I was a little disheartened that you would go to physical therapy and 2 weeks later they'd be like, well, she met all her goals, she's good. And I kind of felt like, well, what do you mean? Isn't there more? But I know that it's insurance and it's, a lot of it was insurance. So I think that there were some therapists, physical therapists, that wanted to do everything that they possibly could and had a goal of getting, some abilities back. And there were some that were just kind of like, this is the way it is, and this, you know, so we set this goal together, and she reached it, and now I don't know what else to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, I wanted to do everything that I could for you, but we ran into a lot of brick walls with that.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing I wanted to do was keep pushing, and giving you the message that you have to walk again one day, because what's not said in that message is, I'm not whole, I'm not right if I can't walk.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want you believing that for 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Nice.
Was that 2 questions?
Mm-hmm. For you. You have one more, I think, for me.
Oh, okay. So I have one more for you, and it is, do you feel that, let's say, you know, because we're writing a book together, that authors or screenwriters have an obligation to society with what message they send in their stories about people with disabilities?
Yes.
Okay.
I can talk about it. I get that everyone has their own personal truth, and that I want everyone to write what's in their heart, but I think representation is incredibly important. And if you're sending the message that having a disability is the worst and you should end your life because it's the worst, I think that's an extremely negative and bad message to send. I think people with disabilities face so many stigmas and stereotypes right now, today, that we don't need anymore. We don't need any negative media about how people with disabilities should live their lives or shouldn't live their lives, especially. And so I think, I do think artists of all kinds have a responsibility for how they portray people with disabilities, just like I think it's important to be aware of how you portray different races and different religions, and because it has real life effects on people. And so I want people to write and produce and make whatever art that they want to make, but I also believe that it should be positive and it should be uplifting, not for just able-bodied people, but for everyone. So even movies that have characters with disabilities that are inspirational, if they do something really cool, then yes, that's great, they're inspirational. But just to have it there for the audience to sympathize for, or for the audience to make themselves feel better, is never okay. And yeah, I have very strong feelings about that.
Good.
I think that's it.
Yeah. All right, so us and our whining dog out there in the hallway say goodbye.